doing? Today I'm going to show you how I built this little plane hammer. To begin, I had to make a jig to hold the mallet head. I scribed a line down the middle of the block and made a mark. I then squared a line across where I made the mark, and where the lines intersect will be where I drill a 1-inch hole that'll hold the brass rod that I use for the mallet head. Here's that intersection. I use a 1-inch Forstner bit and a backer plate to drill the 1-inch hole out. With the rod in place, I now drill a 1/2-inch hole through the second intersection. That'll be perfectly squared centered to the brass rod. Worked like a charm. I next mark centers on my handle blank. My handle blank is 1.5 inches wide by 1 inch thick. And it's some kind of crazy lacewood mahogany that I found in a pallet at the dump. I chose a rectangular blank because I want flat parts on the main part of the handle. With that, there should be some caution as I'm turning lots of air at the same time, so I just take small bites. To form the tenon, I use a parting tool and a set of calipers to bring it down to a 1/2 inch. I just kind of eyeball along until about the end where I'll remeasure. With the tenon brought down to size, it's time to start work on the handle itself. At the base of the tenon, I want to put a little nub that the head of the mallet will actually rest against. Again, I'm turning air here, so I'm using caution and small little bites. I didn't really start with a design in mind, I'm just kind of freehanding this. Here you can see where the flats took shape. A little more refinement is needed. That's better. With the handle the way I like it, I hit it with some 150 grit, followed by 220. Keep the flats nice and crisp, I hand sand it along the grain. Burnishing with a handful of shavings leaves a nice finish. To finish off the handle, I give it a good coat of tung oil followed by paste wax. This wood is gorgeous for a dump find. Using a bench hook and a crosscut saw, I cut the ends off, flush with the handle. Then mounted in the vise, I use a rip saw to split the tenon. I had a thin piece of rosewood left over from the scrub plane build that I'm going to use for the wedge. After tapering the end, put some glue on it and drive her home, nice and careful. With the wedge seated, I cut off the excess tenon with a fine-tooth crosscut saw. With a little bit of filing and sanding, the brass got cleaned up. The whole project took me about an hour to complete. I think it looks great and it will serve me for years to come.